Today, we're diving into the biggest and best games coming in 2025 and 2026. The ones that are about to redefine graphics, storytelling, and gameplay as we know it. From massive open worlds to breathtaking next-gen adventures, this lineup is packed with titles you simply can't afford to miss. A first-person Souls-like from the team behind Ghost Runner, Valor Mortis drops you into a plague-rotted alternate Napoleonic Europe as a resurrected French soldier cursed with otherworldly powers. Streets choke with decay, cathedrals groan under corruption, and every step hints at a deeper conspiracy threading through the dead and the living alike. Combat is classic Souls discipline, tight parries, desperate dodges, and the sting of losing resources on death. But it's fused with the swift traversal DNA of Ghost Runner, inviting you to vault, slide, and reposition with lethal intent. It's a brutal dance of timing and momentum where supernatural abilities and steel clash against abominations born of pestilence, all wrapped in a grim horror tone that never lets you breathe easy. Arcane Lion is sharpening something dark and stylish with Marvel's Blade, but it's still early days. There's no firm release date yet, only the whisper of a possible late 2027 window and talk that it may arrive across the major platforms. What we do have is mood. The reveal came by way of a cinematic that trades in shadow, swagger, and tension rather than raw gameplay. It sets an expectation of a character-driven, atmosphere-heavy hunt where the night belongs to Blade, and to the monsters who think they own it. While Arcane's reputation suggests immersive systems and choices waiting beneath the surface.
Relax, man. I don't bite. Lock up tight now.
This entry is shaking the formula in ways players will feel immediately. At launch, skill-based matchmaking won't be the default. Instead, the game leans on a more open system with minimal skill weighting, promising faster lobbies and wilder matchups. The recent beta brought encouraging news on the integrity front, with anti-cheat reporting 97 to 99% of matches free from cheaters, and on PC the TPM 2.0 Plus secure boot requirement adds another layer of enforcement. Expect the familiar speed and snap of Black Ops gunplay, now paired with a matchmaking philosophy designed to loosen the reins and let chaos breathe.
No more games. This ends now.
Get the Reznov Challenge Pack when you pre-order now.
From Straight 4 Studios with Giant Software Publishing, Project Motor Racing is lining up as a serious sim racer, and it already has a date. November 25, 2025 on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. The hook is freedom. Full mod support is promised from day one, inviting the community to shape cars, tracks, and even physics across platforms. Under the hood, true 2-track tech simulates dynamic weather, drainage and drying lines, and natural day-night transitions, so strategies evolve with every lap. It's the kind of racer where you feel the track heating, the rubber building, and the racing line shifting, then head to the garage to tinker with the world itself. Near-future Korea teeters toward reunification when a devastating attack rips through the South Korean National Assembly, and Mudang, Two Hearts throws you into the aftermath from two angles. As Ji Jong-tae, a North Korean Special Forces operative sent south under the peace accords, and as Gavi, a K-pop idol pulled into the crossfire of manipulation and engineered emotion, you move through open, multipath spaces that reward choice. Slip through vents, climb piping, or take the direct route with close-quarters takedowns. Gadgets and EMPs enable quiet sabotage, while environmental interactions open fresh approaches on the fly. Performance capture drives the story's emotional realism as both protagonists peel back layers of hidden agendas and discover why the truth was never meant to be seen.
당신의 분노를 이용한다.
This is a racer where you don't just drive the track, you build the madness you want to crash through. Wreckreation drops you into a sprawling mixed world roughly 400 square kilometers in size and hands you the tools to sculpt loops, ramps, corkscrews, gauntlets, and entire stun arenas, then throws you and everyone else into the chaos you created. You can tune the vibe on the fly, weather, time of day, traffic, even the rules of the event, acting like a game DJ who flips switches to change the show mid-race. Under the spectacle, there's a comforting promise too. Offline play for those nights you want to tinker or tear around solo. After a long, quiet development, the team says it's in finaling mode with a planned launch pointed at October 28, 2025. One last deep breath before the world goes full send. Ryuga Gotoku Studio pivots from neon swagger to hard-boiled noir with a story that snakes through Japan across two haunted time slices, 1915 and 1943. The center of gravity is Mako Daito, a dogged detective dragged into a web of rot where every answer seems to open a darker door. The tone is all smoke and suspicion. Thin light in narrow alleys whispers behind paper walls, the kind of tension that sticks to your coat. Combat looks more direct and bruising than past RGG fare, trading flashy spectacle for mean grounded melees, while survival elements like hunger and thirst keep you thinking 2 steps ahead. Even tiny choices matter. A cigarette can calm your nerves or paint a target on your back. It's Yakuza's storytelling DNA sharpened into a detective's stiletto.
Got a name?
Mako Daito.
Daito. A Jap then, huh?
Don't I look like one?
You're not? So, what are you then?
Sana.
Steel rings, timber splinters, and alchemical fire blooms in the wind. Alkahest is a medieval dark fantasy action RPG that makes the world itself your weapon. In the embattled land of Cadanor, you begin as the younger son of a minor lord, quickly swept into goblin raids, border skirmishes, and courtly plots where a thrown barrel can be as decisive as a blade. Combat is kinetic and physical. You kick supports to collapse a walkway, hurl shields to shatter guard stances, slide under a swing and counter with a boot to send an enemy tumbling. The alchemy system is the beating heart. Brew on the fly, lace weapons, toss volatile concoctions, or slip a potion into a pocket and watch cause and effect ripple through a fight. There's been chatter about trailer trickery, but what's shown, cracking shields, parkour that flows, environments that break the way wood should, speaks to a game obsessed with tactile, systemic chaos. This edition aims to turn the sky into a living, breathing workplace and wonderland. Under the hood, the team is pushing deeper parallelization for aircraft simulation, shaving VRAM demands, and tuning CPU cache behavior so complex aircraft and dense scenery stay smooth even when the world is busy. On the surface, it's the dream of aviation across industries. Bush missions in storm-scrubbed valleys, aerial construction, emergency response, cargo operations, tourism flyovers that stitch cloud tech, photogrammetry, and machine learning into something that feels like real air under your wings. And the audience is about to grow. PlayStation 5 support lands on December 8th, 2025. With DualSense features, adaptive triggers for brake tension, gyros for subtle input, even ATC chatter through the controller speaker. Plus PSVR 2 support on the horizon in 2026. It's the same planet, but with more ways to feel it. A siren song from 1995's Shadowed Streets, a failed underground civilization, a parasite called Luca, and a bounty hunter whose infection becomes both curse and blade. Project Retrograde frames survival as metamorphosis. You absorb combat memories from other hosts, and the world starts to change with you. One encounter unlocks ruthless kung fu, another whispers stealth that turns you into a hallway ghost, and somewhere deeper, the parasite teaches you impossible tricks that tilt reality. The tone is equal parts retro tech and cold sweat, all CRT hum and concrete corridors, with tension that feels closer to classic survival horror than power fantasy. Ammunition is precious, choices linger, and the question is never just how to kill what's in front of you, but what you'll become if you do.
Our sacrifices! Oh, ruin!
The sly goblin thief is back, and this time Styx has more tools, more attitude, and far bigger playgrounds to conquer. Blades of Greed offers 3 massive open-ended environments, vertical labyrinths of towers, walls, and fortresses, each designed like a living stealth puzzle. You can choose your own way in, grapple across rooftops, glide between rafters, or melt into the shadows with a shimmer of magic. The new abilities, mind control, shadow manipulation, and a more versatile clone system turn infiltration into a creative game of cat and mouse. Beyond the missions, the story digs into the birth of the Black Hand, the mercenary network that ties Styx's chaotic world together. Every choice feels like a step in a larger conspiracy where greed, betrayal, and survival intertwine, and every stolen trinket is a whisper of something darker.
Just remember, kids, it's not about doing it. It's about getting away with it. Always in the wrong place. Bastards! You guys need to slow down.
Insomniac's next big swing takes us away from skyscrapers and into the blood and grit of Logan's world. Marvel's Wolverine, set for release in fall 2026, promises a brutal, character-driven story that cuts deeper than any of the studio's past heroes. This is not the bright, quippy tone of Spider-Man. It's a world of scars and whiskey, of a man wrestling with the violence inside him as much as the enemies outside. Combat looks savage and grounded, focusing on close-quarters brutality, precise strikes, and cinematic finishers that show the cost of every fight. The developers aim for an original narrative, one that pays homage without repeating old arcs, while subtle cameos like Mystique and Omega Red hint that Logan's past will still find a way to claw back into his life.
I'm moving. Just not for me. 'Cause I ain't no hero.
From Embark Studios comes a game that fuses the danger of extraction shooters with a futuristic war against machine invaders. ARC Raiders throws you into a collapsing world where teams of scavengers dive into hostile zones to gather loot, face robotic enemies, and escape alive. Death means losing everything, which gives every encounter an edge of panic. Combat feels tactical and cinematic, as bullets spark against steel hulls and explosions light up the ruined landscapes. The release is set for October 30th, 2025 on PS5, Xbox, and PC, with a final server slam beta planned just weeks before launch. The developers are fine-tuning balance and lowering regional pricing worldwide to make entry fair for all players. It's the last test before they unleash the storm. One chance to prove you can survive what's coming.
Sorry, kids.
IO Interactive's take on Bond is not the suave veteran we've come to expect. It's a younger, untested agent still finding his identity in the shadows. 007. First Light, arriving March 27, 2026, reimagines James Bond's origin through a raw, grounded story filled with stealth, tension, and brutal close-quarters action. You start as a recruit within MI6, working through high-stakes missions that span car chases, shootouts, and infiltration sequences designed with IOI's trademark precision. The tone draws from Daniel Craig's physical, gritty portrayal with a focus on realism over glamour. It's also expansive, coming to PS5, Xbox, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Multiple editions include cosmetic rewards and even a collector's Golden Gun figurine, cementing this as one of the most ambitious Bond games ever crafted. A spy thriller told through sweat, instinct, and steel nerves.
James Bond.
If 009 slips through our...
From the creators of Friday the 13th, Halloween resurrects one of horror's most iconic killers, Michael Myers. This asymmetrical multiplayer survival game pits one player as the Shape, a silent predator driven by pure instinct, against a group of terrified survivors trying to escape, warn others, or summon help before he finds them. Every match becomes a slow-burn slasher film, where silence is deadlier than speed. Michael feeds on fear through his bloodlust meter, stalking prey, watching from the dark, and unleashing unstoppable fury once the meter peaks. The survivors must rely on stealth, cooperation, and sheer luck to survive. Illphonic's signature blend of tension, unpredictability, and cinematic brutality promises that every round will end in either desperate victory or a cold, quiet death under the mask.
Look at gameplay for Halloween. We've only scratched the surface of what's shaping up to be a truly special and murderous sandbox horror experience. And we can't wait for you all to join us in Haddonfield when Halloween launches on September 8th, 2026.
Set in the High Republic era, centuries before the Skywalker saga, Star Wars Eclipse aims to explore a galaxy at its peak, where prosperity hides growing shadows. Developed by Quantic Dream in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, this branching action-adventure gives players control of multiple protagonists whose choices ripple through the fate of entire systems. Expect grand decisions that shape politics, morality, and survival across alien worlds bathed in gold light and ancient mysticism. It's a cinematic journey of alliances and betrayals, of Jedi facing a threat unlike any they've known, and of civilizations about to fracture under the weight of their own ambition. While development is still early and the release likely years away, possibly around 2026, anticipation remains high for a Star Wars story built on consequence rather than destiny. The cult classic Reborn. Gothic Remake is a complete reimagining of the original 2001 RPG, rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5 by Alchemia Interactive under THQ Nordic's wing. Everything from the mines and forests to the looming fortress walls of the penal colony has been reworked with stunning modern fidelity, but the grim, atmospheric spirit remains untouched. The remake expands the world by up to 30%, filling in forgotten corners and adding new quests tied to the faction system. Combat, lockpicking, and NPC routines have all been redesigned to feel more fluid while preserving the sense of danger and discovery that defined the original. A playable demo called Naira's Prologue offers a taste of what's coming when the full game launches in early 2026. Darkness stirs beneath Antioch. Dungeons Deep invites players into a world where mercenaries descend into the black heart of ancient ruins, seeking gold, relics, and answers. This action RPG and dungeon crawler blends the hack-and-slash energy of Diablo with the atmosphere of classic dark fantasy. Combat is fast, fluid, and delightfully savage. Limbs can be severed, monsters can be burned, and treasures glitter just out of reach. Omnidirectional aiming gives precision to every strike, while co-op play lets allies band together against the horrors below. Procedural dungeons keep the tension alive, each run bringing new traps, monsters, and loot. Whether you play alone or with friends, Dungeons Deep promises a labyrinth where every descent tests both your reflexes and your greed. Microsoft and Undead Labs are taking their time with this one, and for good reason. State of Decay 3 is being positioned as a major flagship title developed in Unreal Engine 5 alongside support from the Coalition. It's moving toward a shared open world where survivors can join and leave each other's games seamlessly, and where every decision carries emotional weight. The focus this time is on deeper human drama, characters who remember the fallen, who form bonds, and who can break under pressure. Base building, scavenging, and zombie A are being completely reworked to feel more dynamic and grounded. Though originally rumored for 2026, insiders now expect a 2027 release, as Microsoft funnels extra resources into making it something bigger. A living, breathing apocalypse that evolves long after launch.
It would always be worth it. I didn't know you well to fight on.
From the legendary horror filmmaker himself comes a wild fusion of B-movie energy and all-out zombie warfare. John Carpenter's toxic Commando throws you into a world poisoned by humanity's own greed, where a failed scientific experiment to harness Earth's core has awakened the Sludge God, an ancient, grotesque entity spewing corruption across the planet. You and up to 3 friends form an elite cleanup crew, battling hordes of twisted mutants across slime-covered landscapes using guns, grenades, and heavily armed vehicles that churn through the muck. Each class brings its own flavor: tank, support, or damage specialist. And teamwork is the key to survival as Saber's swarm engine unleashes thousands of enemies in real time. Expect high-octane shootouts, absurd humor, and the kind of gory spectacle that would make Carpenter himself grin behind a camera lens. It's chaos, camaraderie, and gallons of goo.
Zombie on fire!
Whatever works.
One of adventure gaming's most beloved journeys is getting a second life. Syberia Remastered rebuilds Benoit Sokal's 2002 masterpiece from the ground up, bringing its clockwork world and melancholic beauty into full modern 3D. Every environment, from the snowy streets of Valladolid to the rusting automaton factories, has been reimagined with richer lighting, smoother animation, and a modern interface designed for today's players. The puzzles have been rebalanced, still challenging but more intuitive, so the focus stays on the emotional pull of Kate Walker's story rather than frustration. The artistic direction stays faithful to Sokal's vision, dreamlike, mechanical, tinged with nostalgia.
Is still alive. I would prefer to close this affair quickly. Please do hurry.
Very far away indeed.
I'm well aware that this trip has taken me far from New York and far from the Kate you once...
Forget managing football teams. Copa City puts you in charge of an entire metropolis racing against the clock. As the city captain, you have 14 days to prepare your city for the world's biggest football event. You oversee infrastructure, security, transport, fan zones, marketing, and everything in between, juggling chaos and ambition under relentless time pressure. Every choice ripples outward. Upgrade a stadium and you might neglect transport. Invest in crowd entertainment and risk budget collapse. The ticking clock isn't just a gimmick, it's your greatest enemy. Balancing strategy with intuition, you'll decide whether your city becomes a global success or a cautionary tale of mismanagement. It's a fresh spin on the management genre. Stylish, intense, and fueled by the tension of watching the seconds slip away.
Mischance, finance, reputations of it.